Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome. We've
This,
got a few decent questions here in the AMA channel. I think we should just jump right in.
yeah, let's do it.
First question: how fast is the UTXO rebalancer and the new wallet update? So yeah, we've been testing this recently, and it's pretty darn quick. The whole purpose of it is you can send any number of inputs, like any assets, QUID or ADA, that you'd like to send, and the wallet service calculates the most optimal transaction to send those assets, and then sends back to the client the basically pre-signed transaction. And what this does is it rebalances your wallet in the most optimized way for the transaction you're trying to send, and that's all in like fractions of a second. So we're really happy with the progress on the wallet optimizations, and it's going to be going live pretty darn quick here. So pretty soon. Yeah. Move on to the next question here. Is there a limit to mining missions we can send on the same land? So no, our current tokenomics model is setting it up so there's no, like, land will never become resource exhausted, but there will be some drawdown on if you basically mining missions that are back to back, so kind of diminishing returns. And the best way to think about this is the potency of a land and the minerals in a land sort of regrow over time. And this is just a variable that we need to be able to tweak, at least for the alpha, to balance the economy. So you will, the first mining operation you run, you'll have full potency. And then if you run one directly after that, the potency will be slightly diminished. And we're still balancing out the actual values that we'll use for that, but you'll get an idea of the potency of a land currently through the UI. So yeah. Oh yeah, 1B. If there's no limit, are there any drawbacks to using same land for mining? So no. If you have lots of different lands, you can run mining operations on all of them. The only, like I mentioned, the drawback for using the same land is probably that reduced potency over time. So yeah, I'll move on to number 2 here for me little. About the new wallet perks. Are some of them related or specking to take advantage of the Cardano future updates, especially around the Plutus updates? And so, yes, we currently have an alpha of our marketplace contract that we're testing with, and the new wallet system can interact directly with that. So we definitely sort of took our future features in mind when we redid the optimizations for this. We honestly went through like 2 or 3 different rounds of optimizations. We finally settled on a much more future thinking architecture. So yeah, there will be direct Plutus interactions with the Space Tokens wallet in the future. I'll move on to the next one here. Will there be tasks we can negotiate, delegate to other players like Axie Infinity and scholarships? So yes, scholarships are a feature that we're really interested in. We think having more experienced players help out newer players is a great way to sort of encourage the player base and like help people understand some of the more complex game features. So yeah, that's something we'll be looking at probably for beta or later in the alpha.
Could also be to just kind of help you manage a large fleet of planets and stuff too. Like I know some of
That's right.
our
Yeah.
core people have a good amount of planets, and it can be a lot of land to manage. So you can always, I'm using air quotes here, hire someone to to delegate these tasks to as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like taking care of your lands, and there will be some upkeep involved with land. So yeah, that's a great concept to look into further. move on to the next question here. Will the QUIDX price be set to whatever the ADA QUID pair is on the DEXs when it's reopened? So we are going to have it as close to the market price on open, and currently it's sitting around where the last QUIDX price was 0.01, and so that's our target price for July 1st. If there is a drastic swing over the course of July, we may look at altering the price, but it's been pretty stable considering the market conditions as well. So that 0.01 is our current target price. Next question here: will other players without lands be able to mine resources off our lands? So yeah, that's definitely something we're building out, is the idea of making your land public for different like opportunities for other players. So mining operations are one. Creature discovery is another. We're calling those internally safaris. And so the part of the price would go to the landowner, and then the person who is running the mining operation would get the minerals. And we may give a small cut of the minerals to the landowner, but that's still working out the details on that. But definitely the price of the mining operation and QUID portion of that would go to the landowner. And then, yeah, secondary to that, are there any other ways to attract people to interact with our lands? Yeah, there's lots of ways. I may let you, Stacy, talk a bit more about this, but just quickly, like shops with unique items that you can put up for sale, and the arcade booths where you can play. And then, yeah, there's some social aspects to inviting friends to your lands to hang out and that sort of thing. So, Stacy, did you have anything else to add on that one?
Yeah, we don't have a solid name for what we're going to be calling this yet, but generally the spirit of it is like how fun and engaging your land is. So there'll be some sort of overall stat for your land, name TBD, that will be a result of the people interacting with your land. So we'll want to put up some things like Alex said about buildings and shops and games to play, beautifiers, I think we talked about briefly last time, kind of like sightseeing, as well as the safaris and the mineral expedition. So as the landowner, you're really gives you a lot of freedom as to like where you want to place your different assets and how you want to let other people interact with them. And then the underpinning to all of that is to generate income for the landowner, and then obviously a fraction of that goes through to the planet owner as well in that 90-10 split. So we're also looking at getting like shareable invite type codes so you can send it to people to come directly to your land. We're still working out kind of the mechanics of how that would work, but essentially, in my mind, it's a QR code that you could just share around with different people as like a little ad to come to your land. This particular land, for whatever reason, that you think it's special. Maybe it's extra beautiful. Maybe it has really great minerals. Maybe it has great creatures. Maybe you spent a lot of time putting cool statues and buildings, or you've got a really great generation of like the land topography. Maybe it just looks really freaking cool and you want to show it off. So yeah, lots of things.
Yeah, those are all great ideas. Okay, next set of questions here. Will staking your planet prevent you from discovering creatures and mining? So it's a good question. Staking planets for QUID rewards is an idea we've been on for a little while. Mining, I don't think it'll limit you. And to be honest, we don't have this quite figured out, because there's some tokenomics concerns around what happens to the lands if the planet's staked, and currently they're very separate. So I I don't think it will limit you, but we have to look into that a bit further before we make a final decision on that. Planet staking is something we may or may not even include at this point because we have so many other QUID generating features, like just with land and all the different ways you'll be able to interact with the land. So planet staking is something we'll probably revisit a little later once we get past this next round of features.
Yeah, a little further down
Next
the road.
question. Yeah. Next question. Will the marketplace have some sort of functionality like locking assets to be raffled off to anybody who has purchased from you? Is the NFT marketplace wallet? Sorry, the exact question here. Yeah, basically it's saying like, is there some way to make our marketplace go above and beyond a typical wrapped sales model? And yeah, we just finished the alpha contract of the marketplace. We're building out the feature set of the marketplace MVP. We've got a good start on the design, but there's definitely, we've thought about raffles in the past, but we want to make it a little more fun than just straight raffles. So yeah, again, I think we're just open to any ideas that the community has on that front. But yeah, adding to sort of these raffle pools has always been an interesting one in other dexes and different sites. So we'll be looking at different options.
There'll also be the integration of the asset lookup search into our marketplace. So that'll be really helpful for people who want to know more information about what they're potentially purchasing. So you'd be able to see all the associated assets. Right now it's planets and land and QUID that's claimable. But down the road, like it'll show you what creatures are known to exist on your different lands, what buildings might be included with a land, and the kind of the stats about those things too. So it's a little bit of like an asset lookup dictionary built into the marketplace as well. So that is kind of like a out of the gate value add that we're looking to put in there.
Yeah, cool. Do you want to take this next one, Stacey?
Sure. Oh, will I be able to force my baby aliens to procreate? I'm asking for a friend. Well, okay, so there's two parts to this. As far as I know, we don't have any plans to allow baby aliens to procreate because that distribution of baby aliens lies with the Baby Alien Club. So not baby aliens as far as I know at this point. We haven't talked about it. But also our creatures have free will. So like, will you be able to mate your creatures? Yes. But they need to get along and have kind of personalities that jive in some way. That's actually an interesting segue. Alex, should we talk about ocean? I don't think we've really said this out loud yet.
No, go for it.
Ooh, okay. So creatures and players will have what we're gonna call like an ocean. Well, we're not calling it that. That's what it is called. Like an ocean. I don't want to say a score because it makes it sound like one thing is better than another, but a view, let's say. And so ocean is based on the Big Five personality traits. Which is a largely tested and widely accepted kind of personality type test that we'll be utilizing for the creatures. So as you've probably heard us say things like bring your creatures along to improve different aspects of them or to gain different experience points. And in some cases, those things relate to ocean. So I don't have it pulled up in front of me. Let's see if I got this. So it is openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Ooh, I knew them all. Okay, so basically each one of those points has a plus minus range, and again, it's not that anything is better or worse than another. It's that we're looking for like attracts like in this case. So for your creatures to be able to procreate, we want to have, personalities that get along. So if you've got one creature who is high on the neurotic scale and low on openness, then, or another one that's low on openness, they're probably not going to get along as well as maybe one that had higher openness rating level. I'm trying to use non good or bad words.
Personality traits.
Yeah, personality traits that are in each kind of category, let's say. So it's about finding things that get along well and kind of fostering our overall be a good citizen mandate, I guess, to some extent. Galactic citizens. Yeah, so that's a lot of words to say that our creatures have some degree of free will, and we won't be forcing anyone to procreate, but, take your creatures out on a nice dinner, show them a good time. I mean, anything could happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So kind of a follow-up to that. Will some creatures have to change to a different NFT to be able to procreate, some sort of evolution or engagement of experience? So we talked a little bit about eggs. So when two creatures do breed, the majority of them will create an egg as sort of the offspring that you will have to nurture, and over time it will hatch and then turn into I guess you could say a baby creature. So we're still working out how many stages we'd like to involve, but there's at least two. So yes, you will have to nurture your creature into a certain form and for it to be able to procreate. Yeah, I think that covers it. Will there be things in space that can limit the duration of space exploration, like a damaged ship requiring either time for you to be rescued or for you to acquire resources to repair the damage? So, yeah, definitely when we get crafting and like basically minerals crafting and blueprints into the game, you'll start to see the different components that you can build. And so spaceships are obviously one of the most component heavy like vehicles that you'll have in the game. So building upgrades and different components to your ships will be important. In terms of damage and basically hindrance as a feature in the game, we have considered a few different elements, mainly around fuel, but it's a pretty loaded topic to charge for gas. People are pretty touchy about gas to begin with.
It's a bit sensitive right now.
So I don't think we're going to do that. But having damage to your ships, which impedes certain characteristics and performance of your ship, is something, we're thinking about. I really do like the repairing idea because it adds a little more sort of pride to the assets you own, and similarly to buildings and that sort of thing on your lands. Like especially lands over time can become more wild, so there will be some maintenance associated with how you want to keep your land. So bit of a long-winded answer there, but we're still trying to figure out what exact hindrance features we want to implement. The goal is to make those hindrance features fun, and
a delightful
and
inconvenience.
So that's right. Yeah, we're still figuring out that which ones to include at this point, to be honest. Okay. I think this last one here. Will there be features that make each region of space different? For sure. So we currently have the first round of region names complete. And each region will be, as you're flying around, will have unique things that pop up. Maybe there's a nebula that only exists in a certain region with certain hidden quest at the center of it. Maybe there's rogue planets that you have to go find floating around the galaxy. So there definitely will be more unique elements to each region as we develop more features and more basically quest content and that sort of thing. And the galaxy will be changing all the time. Like it'll be very much in an evolving sort of ecosystem and world, and so there will always be new things showing up. So I think I'll leave it there. One example here was shooting stars. So yeah, you could go catch a ride on a shooting star, for example.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anything else to add there, Stacy?
On those ones, no. I was dreaming about suns again the other day.
Yeah, I saw that a list of. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak too much about it, but that list of ideas around that. So
yeah,
maybe that's something we'll revisit in the future.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool.
Nice.
Having some. I'm gonna tease it a little bit. Having a sun that gives you some kind of special powers for your planets.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool.
I think that wraps up the questions that we had for this round of the AMA. Got some people in the audience. Is there anybody who'd like to come up and ask a question or just chat for a bit?
Follow-up details, any more info on anything we covered, or something you didn't think to write down?
We're always open to more questions, so if you have any additional questions, feel free to post them in the AMA questions channel.
So while we see if anybody in the audience wants to come up and chat, I'm just going to plug our next AMA. We'll be coming at you in 2 weeks, which is July 12th? July 12th. And we are currently in conversation with the good folks over at CNFT Tools' Discord. And so we are, if not that one, then the one after that one will be hosted on their Discord server, which will be great to get some people kind of outside of our core community, hopefully interacting with this. And I think that's super exciting. Since we've had Ramon on, Planet Jester, he's been really helping us work on our kind of partnerships with other servers and teams and projects and all kinds of good stuff, and that's been really awesome. Thank you so much. So if you I said a few people swap-a-roo. We are on open question time. If there's anything you wanted to chat about, feel free to put your hand up and come on up and chat with us. And if not, we'll wrap it up for this week. Hey, Frog.
Guys, sorry I'm late. I got meetings back to back today.
Oh, no worries. I hear ya.
So I wish I could have made more. I completely missed the whole event, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the recording. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get this processed and up on YouTube in the next couple days again. Short week in Canada. It's Canada Day on Friday. We've got Independence Day on Monday. Oh, that's another thing I can tell you about. This Saturday, I'm going to get the graphic made up this afternoon. This Saturday, we'll be hosting a movie night. We're going to be streaming Independence Day because, I mean, why not? And we'll be giving away a baby alien and some QUID during our...
Remember who stars in Independence Day.
I know, but it's an alien movie and it's Independence Day long weekend. It just feels too perfect.
It is a great movie, though.
It is a pretty great movie, yeah. And I mean, Stash said it was okay. He said Will Smith wasn't totally canceled. So, blame Stash. Awesome. All right.
Cool. I think we should leave it there.
Yeah,
Solid
let's
30 minutes. We'll
wrap
get that
it
up on
up.
YouTube shortly.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for everybody who joined. Thanks, Alex and Ramon, for joining and being on deck. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye.